quick overview. The CTS big rig. So we got the vehicle all pasted in here, and 9 is going to be the shut off. Shuts down and all the systems. 2 starter up, park and brake on and off. And then number 4 is going to be your braking thrusters. And you got your forward thrust. Definitely comes in handy. Backup camera. I recommend the panning mod so that you can actually zoom and pan and see what the connector's doing and all that. And on the second bar you can control other actions. The number 9 on this bar is to disconnect the trailer. You can't connect it because once it's disconnected they're not able to communicate unless you obviously use your Shift K and control things through the terminal, the trailer terminal. So you can push 9 and it'll activate the disconnect from the cab. As soon as it's disconnected, that button will go away, so you can't necessarily pull up and connect her up. But you can drop it off and drive away if you'd like. So we got the controls here. You can attach and detach the trailer. The button is off and doesn't do anything until the other activation is done. There's indicators here stating what's really going on. So we got the trailer with an automatic door. It's got a sensor directly above it, buried in the works. You got your weaponry, different ammo for the different types up here. Weapon racks with weapons. You have to physically put the rifles in here. It's locked from sorting, so you just go down here into the container and select one and put it up in there. And it'll stay. These are all controlled, so if there's, as long as there's rifles and ammo in the trailer, it will go ahead and sort it out and put them in here, so you can just grab and go. You got your tools here as well, different welders and grinders, and apparently this one is missing its info. That's unfortunate. But as you can see, you can go in here and change these numbers to what you want, and it will go ahead and fill the cargo with what you wanted, given that it's in inventory. And it should say here that the last thing it did was move some grinders. It'll explain any kind of issues you might be having, last action, and issues you might have. Also featuring a cryo tube so that you can fill up all your essentials. We got our information center here with, you got your materials up top here, ores and ingots. It doesn't show until there are some in there, just to keep the screen from getting all cluttered up with zeros. But when you add something to the system, it'll indicate up there what you got. Same thing down here, different tools and ammo and the components you've got. If you have lots of components, this screen is going to start scrolling, so you might need to make adjustments to custom data if you understand how to change any of these things. If you're really not too sure and you don't want it on, just put 2 slashes in front of anything, and it'll remove that from the panel. Took off the title and the command. If you want to put a space between, you can add echo. We got the solar activity, the panels up top. Obviously it's nighttime out, so we got 0 there. Battery total capacity and the time left on it. If they're charging, it'll indicate the charge time left. And we've got inventory manager, reactors, O2 gens. They're all controlled by these buttons here as an on-off status. You can see it changes to idle, and it turns off the indicator above the sign. And same with the reactors, you can turn those on and off, shows that they're running. O2 gens, same deal. Shows how much ice is below that for your O2s. Total cargo used, hydrogen, oxygen, that makes sense. And this button down here, the battery charger, the toggle switch controlling 2 timer blocks, activating them both at the same time. So one has to be off and the other has to be on for this to work right, or it's going to do weird stuff. But as far as the reactors, you can turn those on and off independently of this switch. The reactors are going to just basically come on and give you that availability, not necessarily charge the batteries. When you push this button, it forces the batteries into charging mode and turns on the reactor so that it'll take a shorter amount of time to charge the batteries up. As you can see, 9 minutes later, the batteries are going to be fully charged, as long as you've got uranium. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and switch it. This panel will come on and off, indicating what's going on there. And the panel updates. We've also got missiles here. There's not enough room in the small cargo for these things to go through the small cargo tubes. So I can't put the missiles over here, but there's a whole access point here for all the rest of the containers, and you can grab some missiles and do what you gotta do with your rocket launcher. And that should conclude the overview. That's basically all you really need to know, and just as automated as possible and ready for combat. And that's that. Carnage transport, ready for work. Let's go see if we could break it.